So today we're going over this comforting dish from my childhood, frijoles a la charra. It's so good. It's really hot too right now. Starts off with the pinto beans, and what I do is I toss the beans into the container and throw in the water and soak them overnight. Now it's very important to soak your beans overnight so they'll cook faster. And also you catch those floaters that are never gonna cook. You get those floaters, toss them out. Now once they're fully soaked, they're gonna cook faster, and that's gonna make your life easier. You're not gonna have to wait around longer. So what we do is we get all our stuff together, all our mirepoix. By the way, a lot of people ask what to do with this little nub right here. I typically just do the same thing so I don't waste it. I'll just do my little swipes, just like such, and then repeat the same process, just so there's no waste, you know? Until we're left with a little onion nipple like that. And then I did jalapeno peppers. You could do jalapeno peppers or serrano peppers. That is going to determine how spicy this is. So this is all optional. If you want to be hella spicy, do extra jalapeno. I did around 3 whole jalapenos, just cut on the bias. And then from there, that's when I also cut up my bacon, my sausage, my proteins, and the bacon is gonna be cooked off first. The reason why I'm gonna cook off that bacon first in the pot is because I want that fat. I want to render off all that fat to cook my mirepoix in. So I'm gonna cook my onions and my garlic in the pork fat. So I'm taking this bacon here. I'm gonna utilize the fat from this bacon to cook all my stuff in. So I just gotta throw that in first to render all the fat off. Once we got all that fat, we can toss in our onions and our garlic. And our jalapeno. Also, my uncle mentioned fajita seasoning. I don't have fajita seasoning, nor would I ever use fajita seasoning. This is what I'm using here. A 4 peppercorn mix, some cumin, bay leaf, oregano, and some guajillo to add a little bit of kick and spice to that. Now, if you don't have this, I'll just use regular black pepper, but I do want to mention I'm going quite heavy on the black pepper, which is why I'm not using the pepper grinder today. I put it all in that blender and I blended it up. Now I'm just making a little blend of spices with all this stuff that you see here. And that is gonna go into the pot. Also a bay leaf as well. I'm just leaving that whole, tossing that in the pot. In. And now at this point I toss in San Marzano whole tomatoes. And what I'm doing now is I'm just scraping off all of the fond. the buildup that the bacon and everything got on the bottom of the pan, I'm just calling it the fond. That's what it's called. And then you deglaze the fond with your liquid. In this case, it's the tomato juice. Now I can finally toss in my quart of pinto beans and 2 quarts of chicken stock. And then all of my sausage. Now I am just pressure cooking these beans for 20 minutes. If they're pre-soaked, 20 minutes. If they're not pre-soaked, I would say 30 to 35 minutes. Now, if you don't have a pressure cooker, you just cook them till your beans are soft all the way through in a pot. So while this is pressure cooking and while it's doing its thing, let me explain to you what Charro Days is. If you don't want to hear the explanation, you could just skip to the part of the video where I finish the dish. So Charro Days is something that goes on in my hometown, Brownsville, Texas, the very south point of Texas, Rio Grande Valley. It's a celebration between the borders of US and Mexico. Even the mayor of Matamoros, Mexico will walk the bridge, and the mayor of our town will walk the bridge across the border. They shake hands. There's a big festival with lots of food, music, activities. There's a marathon. There's a parade, which I used to march in from middle school to high school in band. And at this festival, my uncle would make these beans, charro beans. And charro beans basically means cowboy beans, I think, in English. And he would win this competition like pretty much every year. But yeah, Charro Days was a big deal. Like even last year, Elon Musk went to Charro Days. Unfortunately, I wasn't there because I live in Seattle now, but my family showed me pictures. It looked really cool. I do want to go back there someday. Let me know if you guys think I should film that, if I should go back and film it and maybe join the contest. I don't know, that'd be kind of cool to do a cook-off, a bean cook-off. All right, she's done. Oh my God. Now I just toss in cilantro at the end. All right, let's see what's up here. I recommend salting this to taste. Also, it's very common to finish it with lime, but that's when you serve it. I wouldn't put lime in the pot. I'd put lime in what you serve. Let's try this out. Yeah. Now, generally, this is how it's served back home. Just like this. In a mug, just like that. You eat it outside with the family. Perfect. That's comforting. That's so good.